We have everything out of the car. The only door we didn't take off is the passenger door yet. We just wanted to get an idea of what's going on with this one. I just got the radio out, got the harness out, it's sitting on the dash. So you're putting an aftermarket radio in, you cut the factory harness. How do you cut the factory harness when you put an aftermarket radio in and you have a harness that plugs in the other side of this? Are you kidding me? That's insane. Right now I want to get the harness straightened back up and ready to go. We're gonna run new speaker wires with this, so I'm not real worried about any of that stuff behind the deck. I want to get the harnesses plugged back in because it's the push to start and all that stuff are in this control panel, and I don't want it sitting out all day. First thing is gonna be to get that going. We're gonna run a new zero gauge because that one ended up being just a little too short. Actually turned a lot too short. We're gonna mount everything here inside of this. We're gonna put our crossovers, our 4-channel amp, our monoblock, and our battery that we're adding inside of this guy right here because he doesn't actually have a tire that goes in there, so we'll also mount in that air thing. Hopefully he'll be able to get to it now. Fernando has the speaker bezels. It's the Metra 825605. That's where we're at right now. We have an idea of what we're dealing with and rebuild this thing and get it back to where it needs to be. This is the equipment we have. We have the 4-channel, we have the monoblock, we have a battery, and then we have the 4 crossovers, and we have the tire pressure guy here, the tire pump. What we need to do is come up with a way to have access to most of it, but specifically have access to this. So this looks like it's going to be the winning function here is really what is key. We're going to cut the floor thing here so that it'll lift up. That way he'll have access to the battery if we need to get to it. We'll be able to adjust any of the gains or crossovers, and also he'll be able to get to his tire pressure. We're going to move the crossovers back here. They don't necessarily need to go under this. I feel it might be a little easier. Problem is the way the wiring is going to need to be run. It's going to have to come back in order to go forward. We can't just run it straight up the sides here because there is no way to do that, meaning the floor is made to be flat. All the wiring is going to have to come this way, over, around, and back forward. We're also going to have to put some risers in it to actually hold the floor. All right, let's go cut some plastic. just gonna hold that in place. We're gonna put a couple legs on it and also cut the holes for the things to sink into the floor. Now that we have that back brace in there that's nice and secure, we want to repeat this same thing we just did here and do it for the battery. The only difference is on the battery, we're gonna put a bottom on it because we don't want the battery to sit this low in the floor. It doesn't need to. We just need it to go in and have about an inch. That way it'll lock this battery in place, and then we can put a strip over the top to hold it to the actual mount. We have our battery in place, added 3 layers a 1/2 inch so that half the battery is locked into place there. We have the bolt in, we have our back piece here. The only thing we need to do is put a couple braces here in these corners so that this doesn't rock. And then we need to figure out how high our center brace needs to be to hold the factory cover in. This is about 4.5 inches out. So this is what we went ahead and built. We put a channel here because we're going to need to pass wires between the two maybe. So this is going to sit just like this. Just finished wiring up the amplifiers. Let's take a look. Battery, tire kit, monoblock, 4 crossovers, and the JL amplifier. All the wires are here. This is actually the back of the car, so the wires are gonna wrap around and go this way, and they're all taped up to match the factory wiring harness. Every inch of this is all set and ready to go into the car.